Open up your eyelids. This will be a fast-paced fight, and you don't want to miss a beat. Potential fight of the night candidate there for sure.
Definitely. And John Dodson did more smiling in his intro than Peter Yan's ever smiled in his life, I think.
He has a cheeky smile.
A cheeky smile.
It's kind of a little bit ferocious at the same time.
Is what it is. I wouldn't like to see him smiling at me like that. That means he's going to punch me in the head. Watch when he starts moving forward, when he starts to find his rhythm. It's quite beautiful to watch him switch stances, kind of windscreen wiper somebody into a corner and start beating them up. Beautiful footwork there, turned off. Counter right hook.
Angles, angles, angles. Both of these fighters live by that in terms of their striking. But Yan has come from an amateur boxing background. He had 70 or so fights as an amateur before he'd even thought about putting on the 4-ounce gloves. Very experienced in sparring and those movement patterns.
It makes it nice rush there from Dodson. Yan was able to tie him up with a single necktie and direct his energy.
And that reminds me, Dodson told me, everyone else has been headhunting Yan. I'm going to go for the body.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's worth bearing in mind when you're watching this, if you're John Dodson, you're standing in a southpaw stance, and you're taking on Peter Yan, who constantly switches from southpaw to orthodox. Every time he switches stance, you're dealing with a different range of attacks. That was good work by Dodson. Clearly listen to the walkout, John.
Oh, no, that's unfortunate.
Peter Yan's got no mercy. You've got to learn his nickname.
Well, and you are supposed to protect yourself at all times, and until the referee steps in, I'm sympathetic towards Dodson. However, that's two big right hands, though. Peter Yan is showing absolutely no respect for Dodson's pedigree.
He said, you know, the subtitle as he was walking out, he's never really looked up to Dodson. He's another fighter that's in his way.
No, he said, I look at Dillashaw, Moraes, Garbrandt and Cruz. I'm really not interested in anyone else.
I mean, that shows you where his mind's at immediately. That shows you who he's comparing himself against. Beautiful, look at that.
But it's the demeanour in which he delivers that line, Dan. It's not like it's made up, he hasn't pre-prepared it. This is the truth. It's the confidence that he carries.
No, it's just stone cold, but that's the difference between the two. Dodson was fouled and complained to the referee. Peter Yan's been poked in the eye and never took his eyes off his opponent.
Watch those fingers, he palms up.
Yan shaking out his arms, making the octagon very small for John Dodson.
Which is a very hard thing to do. Dodson's got to be one of the quickest and most mobile fighters on the roster.
There's no doubt about it. You've got to think, if you put him up against the fence, he's got one of two ways to move. You can very much limit that direction.
Nice body lock, looking for the takedown. Trying to drive that right arm in, pummel it through. But a good squeeze and position here by the magician.
Yeah, and John Dodson moving up to this weight class, the one thing that we thought he would have was speed. Whereas when he clinches up with these guys, the deficit in strength might start to become relevant.
Peter Yan taking his camp to Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand again ahead of this one. Of course, Dodson at Jackson Wink, where he's been for as many years as I can remember.
Cabby cuts him off. Excellent work again. Look, now he'll start the sequence again. He'll start scooting Dodson back to the fence, then he'll start cutting him off and limit him to one panel. Look at this, steps across him, force him back against one panel. So there's always a 50-50 option. We've talked about this a lot on Inside the Octagon, John, as you know. Forcing an opponent back against the fence, giving them a 50-50 option, and then making that decision for them.
Nice head movement there.
Lightning fast. Must be very unusual for John Dodson to throw punches that don't land against someone that's faster than him.
It's just a barrage. It's an absolute assault from Yan when he starts his going.
And John Dodson's never been able to fully close the distance down. Never been able to really get a hold of him. Yan's always got good head position. Limp arm out there, nice, but pressured again straight away.
Oh, clocked him on the chin.
I think it looks more dramatic because of Dodson's hair. It's like every time he gets caught with a shot, he shakes it, like my mohawk did when I got knocked out.
Prague, Czech Republic. John Good and Dan Hardy on the call.
The corner team of Dodson were reminding him to have fun. when they get him angry, that's how you slow him down. Interesting.
Oof. Oh, look at that. It's like rapid fire. How can you do play-by-play for this, Dan? We can't, you know, just sit. Oh, we can do it for that uppercut.
Yeah, that was very nice. Still controlling the centre, though, is Peter Yan. Aside from that left hook at the end of the first round, I don't really feel like he's been caught with anything that's concerned him as of yet. Yan getting that timing down. Dodson trying to
nice
step in with the
Superman punch. Dodson told me he'd been a little bit hesitant in recent fights.
In on a single leg.
With this kind of pressure, this intensity, that's going to draw it out of you.
Beautiful takedown defense. Lifted him up with the forearm, dug an underhook, shrugged him off.
And I'm betting both of these guys will be able to do this for 15 minutes, no problem. Dodson was telling me just for fun, he goes out and does a bunch of parkour stuff, Ninja Warrior courses, etc. I need to put a training camp in to do one of those.
Yeah, right. He's always been a fantastic athlete, though. He was the one person at flyweight that could compete with Demetrius Johnson. Knocked him down 3 times, I believe, in the first fight.
Ian McCall is spitting somewhere at his screen after you saying that, Dan.
We love Ian McCall. Just Peter Yan's just throwing that right hand slightly over to the left. He's just firing it off over the lead shot, over the back shoulder of Dodson. I'd like to see him power that through. He hit him one time clean in the first round with it. You can see it's kind of digging across to his hip now.
And how good is the wrestling from Peter Yan as well?
That was good from Dodson, inside low kick. Still struggling to get off the fence.
Oh, knocked him down.
There's the power from Dodson. What does Peter Yan do with this pressure? Beautiful butterfly hooks. Back to his feet. Hook for a second though.
Oh, that could be a game changer. How will No Mercy respond? The crowd are really getting behind this one now. This is the fight that we thought it would be.
And it was going to take a fighter like Dodson to really challenge Peter Yan.
Well, he's got plenty of challenges up the food chain as well, but Dodson is a wily veteran, very dangerous in all respects.
When we're seeing Dodson collapse with his back against the fence, it's so difficult to come off the fence with counters.
Once again, Yan just suffocating pressure.
What a lovely scramble that was.
Yeah, switching body weight back and forth to stay squared on. Lovely stuff.
Nice body shot from Peter Yan. Dodson now, for my money, starting to look like he's feeling pressure. That was a good shot from Peter Yan. Slicing left hook.
Where are those angles from Dodson? He's going to need those from bell to bell tonight.
It's being forced backwards, and you can see why Peter Yan's starting to focus on the right body kick. You see how high that backhand of Dodson is. You see the midsection's exposed.
Yan just trying to nail him with that right hand. Dodson popping that jab out to get more space. Oh, nice work to the body.
There's just never space from Peter Yan. That little jog back onto pressure is must be exhausting for his opponents. A lot of hand fighting, beautiful.
Nice uppercut right hand. And again.
Lead hand. Nice
and elbows. Oh, a little flow state here now from Peter Yan.
He's got to be
really
careful.
finding his groove.
He's got to be careful. We've seen that Dodson's got enough power to put him down.
You've spoken to me a lot about upsetting rhythms, Dan. That's what... Oh, he's putting on his butt! Yan coming forward again. But Dodson responding brilliantly.
Dodson's got a bad habit of bouncing with his shoulders back against the fence. Now Peter Yan's starting to time him. He's starting to push him into the fence.
Oh, and a knee!
Then hit him as he's coming back.
Oh, Dodson will see the third round.
That was a rough round for John Dodson. Constant pressure. Difficult to score though. You've got to think Peter Yan was dropped one time. Let's take a look at this. I mean, caught him on the back foot, heels square. One of the dangers of being a switch stance fighter. Nice body kick there as he rolls inside to land more punches. John Dodson's finding his shoulders against the fence a lot of the time. Difficult to mount an offensive if you're in that position.
Weight division, Petr Yan was one of the standout stars of 2018. He's having a lot of success, but let's not forget that John Dodson, 9 wins, looking for his 10th tonight, and he was the last man to beat TJ Dillashaw before Henry Cejudo got his hands on him.
Immediate pressure from Petr Yan.
Is it near as his footwork is just so intelligent?
It is.
He's making this octagon 3 times as small.
He is. Against one of the fastest guys in the sport.
And they're in the lower weight classes.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so little space between the two fighters. Petr Yan's measuring that so well. When Dodson moves forward, he's tucked up and he's covered. I mean, the low kicks are getting through. I would like to see Dodson throw a few more of them. At least slow Petr Yan's footwork down. But, you know, in the last round, it's difficult for them to take real effect. Nice. Dodson almost entirely moving backwards now. Good footwork off the fence. But Dodson again, he's going to find himself pushed back against the fence panel again. He's doing nothing to hold the centre. He's allowing Petr Yan to dictate the space in the octagon.
In the spirit of accuracy, my words about TJ Dillashaw, what I meant to say was Dodson was the first man to hand Dillashaw his L.
That's what you meant, John. We all knew what you meant, John. That's why I didn't say anything.
You're very kind.
We all know what you mean, John.
Sometimes I don't know what I mean. I don't know how you know what I mean.
Warning there for Petr Yan. John Dodson's losing his focus here. There's too much conversation with the referee for me. I mean, that hand is reaching out, but they're both doing it. Petr Yan's trying to parry the lead hand. I mean, it's something that we see all the time when you see Southpaw versus Orthodox. Oh, wow.
Yan nailed him with that one.
And that's the first time I've seen Petr Yan smile. How tight and tucked up his guard is. Lifts his shoulders up to his earlobes to protect his chin.
You would think that would expose the hips for a takedown, Dan, but he's just so...
John Dodson was very, very lucky in that circumstance that he's 5'3". If he was 5'5", I think he'd have eaten that knee.
Petr Yan nearly joined us in row 1.
Great takedown, straight to the back as well. Beautiful work, amazing. It's almost effortless. It's like watching Lomachenko's footwork in boxing. The way that he's able to move around people. Little warning for a shot to the back of the head.
Shot to the front of the head as well.
Dodson looking tired for the first time. Oh, and again, Petr Yan.
I can sense television sets being turned on all around the world, particularly from the guys in the bantamweight division, getting calls from their coaches. Take a look at this kid.
Yeah. Keep an eye on this guy. He's going to be a problem.
Hashtag problem. Absolutely.
Look at that. Very nice. I mean, he's just in the moment. He's not even really sticking to a particular game plan here. He's just working with what Dodson's given him now. See if he takes Dodson for a ride here. Circle him maybe for a suplex.
Dodson dropping his base nicely.
Oh, that was... I would say that's a point deduction there.
You know, we had a point deduction earlier in the evening, and they're not massively dissimilar.
That definitely stopped a takedown, though. I mean, that was 2 hands on the fence. So I can see in my eyes, though, that was a clear grab of the fence, particularly with the left arm.
1-2 there.
Not that Petr Yan needs any help on the scorecards for this one, I don't think.
Reaching the last 30 seconds shortly, and Petr Yan is looking fresh and mobile. John Dodson seems to me like some of his ideas are running out, but he still does have that power, and he has that wrestling.
Now his nose is bloodied as well. He's starting to to look a little bit like he's locked in the octagon with the Siberian Tiger, and he doesn't know exactly what to do with himself. I mean, Peter Yan is one step ahead in every range.
Peter Yan is closing this fight out with a rally of punches. He's got to be careful about